I'm your host, your captain, Zmotion, New York City. Back in the studio, back on track today, man. I got a great show for you, man. But first, before we go on today's show, I gotta say a big thank you to my guest from last week. That was Producer's Plug, man. Like, if you want to catch me, I'm going to be there at that spot, 277 Canal Street, every Friday from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. But New York City, we're not here to talk about Producer's Plug, man. Like, I got a great show, man. Like, me and my boy here go way back, man. Like, I know you guys over there can see us, y'all can hear us, but you know what I mean? Like, so, this is actually a good friend. Like, we went on tour together. Like, we did few stuff together. Like, and I can tell you this much, man. Like, when it comes to dancing, he hold it down, man. When it comes to get on the mic, he hold it down. So, like, my boy putting work in that New York City, man. I want you to give me a warm welcome, man. Like, please give me a warm welcome for the king, man. Like, the man himself, man. Like, King Kayak, man. Like, welcome to BboxRadio, man. How you doing?
BboxRadio, what's up?
What? Oh, man, how long we been talking about getting you in here, bro?
What is that?
How long we been talking about getting you in here? It's been
it's been a couple of months now.
Yo, bro, like, it's an honor to have you here. How you doing so far? How's your day going, man?
Man, I'm good to be here. I'm thankful to be here, bro.
Man, you already know, man. Like,
Great to see
that
you, bro.
first track, man, great to see you, man. Like, I ain't seen my boy, like, in probably 2019, 2018. I don't remember the last time I seen. It's been some time, man. Like, so, we here in Denver, man. Like, I appreciate you being here. So, like, that first track, just like, I know it's a hot day out there, man. It's a hot day, but guess what? You came here to make it even hotter.
Hey,
like,
you already know.
Man, you came here to increase that heat, man. Like, and I know they can't handle it out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, that first track, fire, man. Went there before we go, man. Like, my boy King Kayak, man. Like, introduce yourself. What is it? What you do? And how long you do now? Briefly, before you go on.
Man, first I was a pleasure to be here, bro. Shout out to DJ Zmotion.
Come on, bro.
Man.
Man.
The smooth guy, Listen, well, I go by the name of King Kayak.
Yes.
I was born and raised in Carriacou, Grenada.
Yes.
But I immigrated to New York City about 11 years ago.
Okay.
And man, I'm a professional dancer, choreographer.
Yes, my son, man. My son gets down, man. Like, go on YouTube, check him out.
Yeah, man.
Check him out, man. My son stay busy, man. Yes. Tell him.
I dance for Janet Jackson,
yes,
Neo,
sir.
the Prince of England.
Yes.
A lot of dancehall artists, Cranium. There's so many artists to
my
mention, right?
All over the place,
Vito, fabulous.
Yeah, my son had there putting in the work, man. It's an honor to have you here, bro. Like, So before we even go on, man, like, So like I said, you go way back. You worked before. We flew out of town. We in Miami. We in LA. Like, crazy times. Like, get off the plane, straight perform, all that. But guess what? You in here because you put in work. I've been watching you. Like, I've been watching you put out there. Like, my son do not sleep. I'm like, guess what? There you go. You deserve to be in here. So first, I want to know, like, how do you get into dance to begin with? If I take you way back, how do you get into dancing first back home before you move out here?
So back home, right, in Carriacou, where I'm from.
Yeah.
So in all of the elementary schools, like no matter where you would be at it, like no matter what school you were in, like, no matter what village, they would always have like times when they would put together like a school fair, school show, or like king and queen show. They would always do it.
Yeah.
And then people would just go up, and if they sang a little bit or they danced a little bit, they would do it. But one of the things, man, just from birth, I think I just came out of the womb just whining,
Oh, yeah.
And that's the Caribbean thing, that's the island thing,
My son said he came out of the womb whining, man.
That's it. And then
go check his videos, man. Go check his videos, man. My son puts in work.
Bro, I mean, like over the years, being around like all the little school shows and fairs and stuff, like I was interested in just doing everything, So my sister, she would take me to like little parties here and then. I would see people dancing, and I would love it from there. And then fast forward to when I was like, let's say like from fourth grade going up, because we didn't have that many channels on the TV. We had like maybe like 31 channels.
Yeah.
BET would come on every day around the same time.
Okay.
So when my brothers or my sisters would be watching, I'd be on it, and one of my favorite people that time was Usher.
Okay, nice.
So
I would actually lead me to my next question. The people who inspire you, but keep going.
Yeah, and I would watch that like religiously, and I would just like try my best to just learn a little something. And then as I got older, and I was old enough to go to like the computer cafe, pay $2, stay for an hour.
Yeah.
Like I would be in there just watching different dance videos if I got the chance.
Yeah.
And there was this guy on YouTube, man. His name was Chris Chaos.
Okay.
And he was like on YouTube. He was crazy. He was like an all-style dancer. He b-boy, crump, everything.
Yeah.
And I used to watch a lot of his stuff and just practice and just fuse everything, and then whatever dancer I would see or meet, I would just like want to like learn something.
Yeah.
Because we never had any dance classes growing up, so it
I
was just
hear
like
you.
you know,
Just like natural.
yeah, just
Yeah.
natural. That's it.
Mhm. Sweet.
And yeah, man. I mean, as I got to high school, um, I started meeting more like-minded people, and I started seeing more like well better dancers.
Okay.
Because with me, I was just like this little quick dance, I give you a little wave,
Yeah,
and
yeah, a little
that's
something.
it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know, like over the years, just seeing some being in so many meeting so many talented other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like guys that could just like flip, they just taught themselves how to do some backflips and whatever. Because
Mm-hmm.
I went to an all boys school.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
like whenever we'd have like our sports day, whatever, you see the dancers, they come out, they dancing and they just killing it. But it's not even like something that they learn anyway. They just natural with it
Natural,
as well
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And you know that just from there I was just hooked, man. I just never stopped ever since.
I hear you. What kind of music did when they grew up listening to?
Yo, alright. I grew up listening to a lot of like yes, my place we have a lot of soca. We love
Okay,
soca.
yeah, soca music.
It's on the radio 24/7, so I'll hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, I was into a lot of like heavy reggae.
Okay, heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Like Richie
Okay.
Spice,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony B.
Yeah.
So, yo, so many influential artists. Like you know, like even as I listened more and more, I started getting more into dancehall.
Okay.
So I would listen to, and but for me, I always had an ear to listen to everything.
Okay.
Just for what it was, especially if I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely a lot. It started with a lot of reggae,
Okay.
soca, and a lot of hip hop too. Because when I
Nice.
first started dancing,
Mhm.
I was dancing hip hop at first.
Of
Like
course, yeah.
I learned how to do a
know
little
hip-hop
top rock.
dancer, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know my
man.
son, like, as a b-boy, like, choreo all out. My son gets down, like, just go on YouTube. Check him out, man. King Khaled, man. My son put in work, like, straight up. Yeah, so, and I would like to know when they're like, what time did you realize, like, I got to take this serious? At what time, like, what age? Possibly did you?
I would when I really started taking it seriously was about I would say maybe like 7th, 8th grade, like early into high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where the interest started.
Mm-hmm.
So like let's say 7th, 8th grade, I would see it, I would practice, and I got better.
Yeah.
And I would attempt to I would attempt to do like more shows, right?
Yeah.
But then I'll say like, let me see, like 9th and 10th grade,
Yeah.
it really solidified for me because I moved to New York,
Okay.
and then I was exposed to just so many different things because New York
Yeah,
is a
NY, that's
plethora. It's
NY,
just-
man. That's the
culture.
place, man. The maker.
Yeah,
The
man.
maker, man. The Empire State, man, for a reason.
For real.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the more I got to meet people, that more like so many other great dancers.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered late in high school that you could actually go to a specialized high school here. Like
Yeah.
if you wanted to, like if I knew that, I
Yeah.
would have been begging my mom to send me to school, man, just
Yeah.
to get the training.
Of course, yeah.
But one of the things with me, I was always searching for something
Mm-hmm.
like similar to what I would have back home, right? So back home they have the little talent show, you
Yeah.
with money here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I need to find some of that because I'm always, thinking about these things. Like, I want to figure out how I can meet more people
Yeah.
and just get better and better, get more information,
Mhm.
And then just doing talent shows in Brooklyn and just so many places, like exploring for myself.
Yeah.
Like I would just meet different people, and then afterwards, when I started getting paid for it,
Okay.
I was like, yeah,
Okay,
alright,
this is
alright,
happening.
This
This
is
is
this is really happening.
Cool.
But yeah, man.
I hear you. So, how was the transition from back home to Brooklyn? Like, what I mean? Because, you just came from the island where everything is like lovely, sunny. Here you're in Brooklyn. Like, how was the transition for you? Like,
Well, it was definitely a culture shock,
Mm-hmm.
but not too crazy because I would always so before I ended up moving, years before that I had the opportunity to actually visit within the summertime and
Yeah.
come with my family and meet other family, just be around a little bit. So things were familiar,
Mhm.
but moving to New York, it was still pretty new,
Okay.
Like I remember the first time I got robbed in the streets, like
Oh, shit. You said, give me a bag, man.
Yeah.
My bag now.
so like just and yeah, I mean that was a different experience, but I connected with a lot of my Caribbean people and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and just made new friends, and I'm a cool guy, man. So,
Of course, yeah. Everybody
every-
knows, man. Wendell is a cool dude, man. Of course you
Yeah,
are, man.
man.
And I would like to know, tell us about your training. Like, when it comes to your training, how do you train? Like, how does Wendell train? Like, when it comes to you can start with music or dance and then work your way into music. There, like,
Okay.
if you're gonna be talking about anything, like everybody knows that you put in work as a dancer and into music as well. So you're not going to leave music behind. Like, you have to promote both of them. So let us know. How do you put in work? How do
So
you?
at first, I mean, this was the crazy way, but it was dope. I'm glad I experienced it
Mm-hmm.
because I never really had like that dance training, and growing up, like like I said, I would just search wherever I would find, where I could find it. So I would find free dance classes and stuff like that. That's how I started.
Okay.
But like, like now that I'm a professional, I definitely take my time to go to classes.
Yeah.
I take multiple style classes
Absolutely.
as much as I can because I
Mhm.
feel like you never stop learning. Forever a student.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I've never trained like day in and day out. I wasn't fortunate to do that like
Mhm.
growing up.
So you want to absorb.
I just want to
So you're
absorb.
a sponge. Just
That's
like get
it.
whatever comes your way.
Just
Yeah.
give me,
Totally.
give me.
Yeah, the more the richer you get, the more you can actually express yourself, man.
Exactly.
That's what's up. That's lovely. And I would like to know about the creative process when it comes to when you create like a piece, like as far like dancing is concerned or music. How the creative process for you? How do you make your choreo? How do you create a new track? Like people want to know like how do you get inspired? There you go.
Well, definitely. So for dancing,
Mm-hmm.
because as artists, sometimes if things get busy, then there's a certain way you kind of have to work. You have to know how to work efficient, right?
Yeah.
But the number one thing for me, like if I'm creating choreography, I just want to connect to the music like 100% because I never like to. I never like
my
to.
next question, the musicality, of course.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean connect to it and then figure out the moments that I want the audience to see.
Okay.
Because I already know I can dance and kill every beat,
Mhm.
but it's not even about that when you're doing choreography. You
Fact,
gotta
yeah, like
create a
you can choose
moment
when.
or
Yeah,
moments.
totally, yeah.
So
Mhm.
I try to figure out what moments resonate to me most naturally.
Mhm.
Like if I'm in the party and this song is playing, I'm going stupid, I'm going crazy. How would I move? Whether I wanna give a certain vibe, like do I want this movement to be big? Do I want it to be subtle? Do I want it to be smooth? Do I want it to be rugged? Like
Mhm,
like I
yeah.
think about all these things and I just try to mesh it together while trying to show off the music 100% with my body.
Mhm.
So even if you don't know the song, you're gonna see.
You can see it, yeah.
You're gonna see like at least a blueprint.
Yeah,
And then
Mhm.
you'll be able to at least feel it to be. And I try my best to add feeling to it as well too, because I don't like to just be super robotic and just keep
Yeah,
moves.
yeah.
If the move don't connect with the dance, and then it's like it don't really connect
Yeah,
spiritually,
it's
right?
not there yet. People
So
can't feel it.
They can't
That's
feel
the
it.
only people gonna be able to get back to it, yeah.
Yeah. So that's for the dancing process. I mean, for music,
Mhm.
man, honestly, so since quarantine, bro, I've been locked up, just like doing a lot of research,
Yeah.
talking to a lot of songwriters, producers. I'm
Mhm.
learning to produce myself.
Yeah.
Um, so now, honestly, I just need a nice beat. Well, I don't even. I need a beat or not, whatever it is. I can just vibe by myself, and
Yeah.
I'll give you something.
Mhm.
But once the beat is there, I like those beats with I like those dramatic beats, but I like the beats with a lot of feeling.
Yeah.
So that way I can just tap in. Like you play any beat, bro, I just go off. I
Don't
create
worry,
the
man.
moment.
I
I
got
create
free
the
stuff,
flow.
man. You ain't gotta tell me. I got my records in here, so
Yeah.
that's coming soon, man. So when then I would like to know, you were also doing a lot during the quarantine, what I mean. So can you tell people how did you been living the quarantine life so far, 'cause a lot of people actually.
Man. Well, the quarantine life definitely was a lot, a bit of struggles and triumphs, but a lot of gaining experience, a lot of growing,
Mm-hmm.
as an individual, growing within my workspace around my peers.
Yeah.
So as when quarantine happened and we all had the lockdown, one of my boys, Blaka,
Mm-hmm.
he hit me up and was like, "Yo, like, how are you going through the quarantine because we're not working, we're not doing anything."
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna just teach classes online or something.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
I was doing that myself, too, teaching online, university, or for the kids in Japan if I had to, whatever,
Man,
whatever might pay the
everything.
bills, man,
For real.
keep it moving, man.
For real, bro.
hmm So how was that? How's been going?
Well,
how was that?
At first, it started with about 12 of us.
Okay.
So we actually moved in together and decided, like, all right, the money we make from class, we're going to set a schedule,
Mhm.
open a whole online dance school,
Mhm.
and then, use the funds from that to pay off the Airbnb. And that's what we did week by week, week by week. There were times, like, it was crazy when, let's say there was a booking messed up on the Airbnb or something.
Yeah.
Like, I would be starting class in like an hour.
Yeah.
And we'd have to move to another Airbnb. But then the check-in would be late, so then we'd have to like we'd be rushing, like packing all of our stuff from that place, packing it in a
Straight
small car,
hustling, man.
going to another spot.
Yeah.
Or if we can't get the Airbnb to check in on time,
Yeah.
we'll find one of our friends that live close by, go to his place, set up some lights,
Yeah,
and make
yes,
it just in time. Like,
yeah.
all right, guys, so this is the first class. And then after that first class, let's say there's a break in between.
Yeah.
Then we can actually go to the Airbnb and then check in now, and then the next teacher will teach. So we did that for like about a month or so,
Mhm.
and then we decided like, yo, let's move to like somewhere that's more spacious.
Yeah.
We can pay less
Mhm.
for Airbnb. We thought of Atlanta,
Yeah.
and then we were